Talking Out Loud with Jazzy 929 TV and movie reviews.
In this episode, we see Grace confronting her mother. She wants to know who her father is. May basically tells her, look, I don't know who your father is, but if you want to go ahead and shout it all across the church, then go ahead. Grace basically tells her mother, no, that is not what I'm interested in doing. I wouldn't do you like that, Mom. We see that the bishop confronts the church members that are trying to take over the church. He tells them that they are not going to take over the church, and he is the bishop of the church, and he plans to stay. We see Jacob have a conversation with his wife. He convinces her that he is still in love with her. Her thoughts are that he is in love with Tasha. We also see that Rochelle is set up to go over to the lady's house that has the case open, that has murdered her husband. She convinces Rochelle to come over and check on her because she tells Rochelle that she is in the midst of going to go ahead and take her kids, are going to see her kids that, to my understanding, are in child protective custody. So Rochelle finds her way over there to make sure the lady is okay. During that time, we see that Grace and Jacob have been waiting outside to see if they come over there, which she does. Before they go and confront Rochelle, they are in the car talking, and Jacob basically tells Grace that he is still in love with his wife, but they go inside and they confront Rochelle. They also ask Tasha, what Jacob does, would she be willing to testify to the FBI about them setting his family up, and she says she will. Then we see that in this episode, Zora. We see Zora's been doing everything for her little boyfriend, and she's basically tired of it. And she tells him, like, look, I've done everything for you. I haven't asked for anything. Why don't you go ahead and put me on your payroll? It seems like he has a problem with this situation, so she is out. Like, look, I do everything. I don't even got a title to my name, and I am out of here. So by the end of this episode, we see Zora going home. I think her walking into the house during the time that her mother had told her father that she wanted a divorce, she just saved it. Zora just saved that family, if you ask me. We see in this episode that May is having her show that she planned to have, and it looks like it's going good. It's going down with a hitch. We had a performers there. Patty did her thing. May's doing her thing in this episode. I have to say, I think that May looked lovely. The dress was beautiful, and before I say any more, I am going to go ahead and take a break real quick, and I will be back with you in just a minute. Sit tight, and I will be back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned in. First off, I want to say that I am a big, big Patti LaBelle fan. So, what I'm about to say, please do not judge me, but I'm just telling you my truth. During the time of the whole show that May had, like I said last time I was just on here, before I left, that May looked beautiful. She looked beautiful. Her makeup was nice. Her hair was nice. That dress was just amazing. May was she was good. I mean, her little ceremony, or not ceremony, but sermon. It was okay. But what I want to touch on is Patty. I did not like her hair. I did not like what she had on, but I did love her performance. See, I thought the dress was too loose, on her. The hair color, I just didn't like. And I'm used to Patty being real sharp, so that's why I'm saying that. And I hope don't nobody feel offended by what I'm saying. I'm giving you my truth. But besides that, I thought, the performance was real good. We saw Charity, performance. Charity. She looked good, she did her thing. I really did enjoy, that whole performance or whatnot. I want to talk about Pastor Greenleaf now. Pastor Greenleaf, we see this episode. Something I did like is he did have a heart-to-heart with Grace. And I felt like that was something that was well needed. But at the time, it was kind of bad because when he was hugging Grace, I could see it in Grace's eyes. I'm saying? Oh my God. I'm saying? I'm hugging this man and I don't know that if he's my father or not. Not just that, he doesn't even know. So, I mean, it was just a tense, scene right there. I want to know what y'all thought about that. We saw that Pastor Greenleaf, Dan goes into his office and he's sitting in there. And Jacob comes in and, not Jacob, I'm sorry, Basie, that's his name. He comes in there and he has a gun and he looks like he's going to shoot Pastor Greenleaf. Pastor Greenleaf and him goes back and forth. They say some words to each other. Greenleaf basically tells him, like, look, if you kill me, then I don't just have that guilt of your father on me, but I have the guilt of you too, because it's my fault basically that you will be dead because, the police is going to be searching for you and the ending wouldn't be good. So by the end of this episode, we see that Greenleaf whatever Greenleaf is saying, I thought at first it was getting through to Basie, and Basie was going to put that gun down. But as we see, Basie is still got this gun at Pastor Greenleaf, and he is threatening to shoot him. So we see at the end of this episode that Pastor Greenleaf may be getting shot by Basie. We also seen that Grace is going into the church or she's already in the church, but she's going into her mom's ceremony, and she goes in there with Aaron. In this episode, we see that Grace asked Aaron to do a DNA test with her so she could find out whose baby she is. She finds out the results. It doesn't show us what the results are, but we see her and Aaron walking to the church. We see that her mother is actually looking at her coming into the church with Aaron. So I guess next episode we'll see what happens with that whole situation. I want to speak on the whole Zora situation. I think that it was a good thing that Zora actually left this boy. I think it's something that was well past due. I was terrified. At that moment, I was terrified for her. I'm like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? The little boy is going to kill her before she leaves the store, leaves her apartment, or leaves that apartment. And we see that he snatches her up and he is getting physical with her. And, it was a clever thing for Zora to fight. For Zora to go ahead and fight back. And we see her pull out her phone and go live like, look, if you do anything else to me, everybody's going to see it. So therefore, I think you should fall back. And that's exactly what he did. And I think that was a very clever idea for Zora to actually do. We seen in this episode the situation with Rochelle. I most definitely want to speak on that. I am so tired of Rochelle. I want somebody to punch her. And in this episode, I thought that I would see Grace punch her when she was in the house and she started going off on that lady. I thought that was going to be the point where Grace just socked her in her face. But we seen that didn't actually happen. And then when she confronted Grace, I thought that Grace was going to feel like, okay, I done had enough with you. I've been wanting to do this, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit you. But we seen that did not happen. I would have loved for it too, but it didn't. Charity, say I will speak on Charity. Charity, she most definitely, I would say within these last episodes, say it really excited me. I think her character has bloomed a lot within the last two episodes. Like I said, her performance was great. Her look was great. Pastor Greenleaf, I am hoping, we don't see him lose this church. I hope he doesn't die. I don't even want him to be shot. I want him to speak to Basie a little bit more if that could happen, and he talks him down. That's basically what I would like to see happen in further episodes. I think there's only one episode left, so we'll see. I want Jacob and his wife to actually resolve their situations. I would love to see them work their marriage out, work their problems in their marriage out. And especially with the fact that Sora decided to come on back, I think that would be a good idea. I think that Jacob actually does love his wife. I think in previous seasons we see him as a cheater. This season is an iffy situation for me because simple facts are what they are. He did cheat. He did kiss Tasha. But at the same time, what I'm saying, I don't think it was more of, an intentional thing, and I think a lot of people could get caught up in a moment, and I think that's what he did, and that's not a good thing, and I'm not trying to excuse anything that he did, what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is basically it was totally different from what he did before, and I think that his wife should be a little bit understanding about this situation and forgive her husband and work out their situation, their marriage. I think that at this time, Jacob has decided to go ahead and fix his marriage, and that his marriage is actually something that he actually wants. So, with that being said, I think they should fix it. I mean, I think that she has some fixing to do because she's so insecure about her marriage, and it's going to take some time to do that. And he needs to go ahead and make sure that he can help her secure or help her find her securities back about the marriage. With that being said, let's talk about Grace. Later on, I think that we're going to see that the results of the situation with who her father is. But I want to know what the situation will be with her and her new boyfriend, or not her new boyfriend, but her boyfriend. From the previous episode, we had seen that her and her boyfriend had fell out a little bit. I want to know what the outcome of that situation will be. I really do like him. I like Fox, you know what I'm saying? I like his character. But the thing about him is, since the season began, I've seen something fishy about him. And I think that he's a businessman. But like his career comes first. And when it comes to her, he don't know how to put the career aside from his relationship. And I think that's what's going to ruin the relationship. I think it's totally wrong, especially he knows everything that she's going through in her family. For him to use that in any way to further his career.